Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Cop Talk. I'm Kevin Schroeder, your host. I'm here with my co-host, the good captain.
Hello, WABC listeners and YouTube viewers. As usual, we have a distinguished guest who is quite well known, and Kevin will introduce him.
So today's guest on Cop Talk, we're honored to have the Nassau County Police Department Commissioner, Patrick Ryder. Pat, welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Pleasure to be here.
So if you don't mind, let's start with give our audience your background, where you grew up and when you came on the job.
So I'm a Long Island kid. My parents immigrated here from Ireland. Grew up in Limerick, East Rockaway. In 1984, I went on the big job, the city job. Like a lot of us were taking the test back then. NSU 12, then off to the 7-9 precinct. So I got my learning how to be a cop in my first 3 years on the job. 86, I went out to Nassau County. I was after the academy, went to the 3rd precinct, Newcastle area, made a plain clothes. Then I went into what's called our BSO SWAT unit, typical to ESU. From there, I made sergeant, detective sergeant. I ran the asset forfeiture section, the money laundering section. And then after 9/11, at Ground Zero, I met Chauncey Parker, the New York, New Jersey Ryder director. Now, I believe, was the assistant commissioner at NYPD and the head of public safety here for the city of New York. And Chauncey is now back at Ryder. And he said to me, he goes, this is a colossal failure of intelligence sharing. We got to build intel centers. And I was one of the first RIC centers for Ryder in Nassau County. And from there, we really took off. We invested in intelligence. We invested in, fighting crime from an intelligence perspective. We reduced crime in our county continuously since that time, since 9/11. We've been very fortunate not to have any kind of terrorist attacks in Nassau County, but we do know that New York City is the big target, and we also know that if they build it, they will build it by us and bring it here. So we have worked very closely with the NYPD, worked very closely with Tom Galati, was a great friend to us out in Nassau County. Right now, they have 5 detectives and a supervisor that work in our intel center every day. They work their sources and do their job, and they share intel with us, along with Suffolk County, the railroad. So we have a big investment in intelligence sharing. Built a new academy 6 years ago, and we just finished our new training village, just opened up last week, and it's a real downtown Nassau County area, but it's also a downtown America area. It is a bank, a train, a gas station. It's got a convenience store. It's got a house of worship. It's got a police station. It's got an apartment building. It's got 3 different residential homes and a school. So it's in a 2.5-acre area. It surrounds our evac track. So you got to come through the evac track to get in there. Builds you up, get your momentum going, and then we put you into the training mode. So it's a real good investment. So I'm 42 years complete this January, and I start number 43. So just warming up.
Pat, yeah. What year did you come into what did you do before you came into the police department?
My father was a painter, but my father gave me every job that he can give me at age 14. I started working for the DPW in Limerick as a back of a garbage truck at 16. First started on the lawns in the parks department in the summer jobs. And then after, if it was finishing, go home. So it was when I got finished in the summer, he handed me the piece of paper and told me where to ride my bicycle and start setting the ladders up for the paint job when he got off work. So I worked 2 jobs since I was 14 years old, and I'm blessed to have every moment I've ever gotten in life.
And what year did you went to the New York City Police Department?
84, New York City, 86, Nassau County.
So you didn't last very long.
Not 2.5 years to be exact.
So did you plan it that way? You wanted to become a Nassau cop, or you just took the test and they called you?
I grew up in Limerick, and I always wanted to be a Limerick cop. I saw these guys as I was in the back of the garbage truck, and I said, I want to be one of them.
And they're separate, right? From
they are.
Limerick?
They are. Yeah. There are 18 villages in the county of Nassau. So we're not to be disrespectful to the other villages, but we're big brother on the block, because we have the most members and all the extra tools that they need. But we have great partners out in Nassau County, great chiefs running great departments. That's why we work so well together. So when I looked at it, I wanted to be a Limerick cop, and the test came up for New York City, I took it. And they were hiring, I think my class was 2,200 at that time in 1984. And we all got called, we all got put into the academy. Some people during the academy actually got walked out in handcuffs because by the time their background check came in, they found out they were wanted for crimes and stuff. So it was a different time back then. Yeah. It really was.
You know, you said you went to the 7-9 precinct when you left the academy?
I went to the 7-1 as NSU 12. That's where I met Ray Kelly when he was the captain, the XO there. And then from there, I went to the 7-9 when I left NSU.
Well, the reason I ask is when I left the academy, I went to the 7-9. And I was there for 3 years, and it was a wild, wild place. It was really...
1 square mile.
Yeah.
And the year I left, there was 65 homicides.
Oh, yeah.
I haven't seen 65 homicides in Nassau County in the last 10 years. So it show you
That's
the
good.
difference.
Yeah, it's good.
Well, I got my baptism of fire in the 7-9.
It's a place to learn, for sure.
Well, back then it was. Now it's yuppie land. It's changed a lot since your
And
time.
I wish I bought some of them brownstones.
Exactly, right? Unbelievable.
Just didn't have the guts to spend the $50,000 that are worth now well over $1 million.
So you did 2.5 years in the New York City Police Department.
That's correct.
And did you get promoted in that time, did you say?
No, I was up for the plain clothes unit to go into it then, but we were hiring such massive amount of people. I had a guy named John Kopek and Greco. They were two of the best cops I ever seen. They were in plain clothes at the time. And they went on to be into the squad and to the RIP unit and stuff. And so I was up next, but then I got called for Nassau, and I cried like a baby when I left. And then when I got my first check in Nassau County, I never cried again.
Exactly.
So you worked your way up.
Yeah.
You worked right through the promotion system?
So I was plainclothes SWAT guy, made sergeant, and then on 9/11 was asked to build the Intel Center. So I built the Intel Center. We have a very successful forfeiture, very good Intel Center. And then in my 32nd year, 2 days before January 4th, I got a phone call that says, "Hey, we're going to make you deputy commissioner." So I went from detective sergeant to deputy commissioner. And I'm like, I'm retiring. And they go, "Yeah, the boss wants to know if you want to hang around another year. He's got 1 more year of his term." I said, "Wow, yeah, I'm in." Right? So I rolled the dice. I won, and I went up there. And then, unfortunately, the commissioner at the time had some health issues. He decided to leave, and they said, "Listen, we got 8 months left. We'll make you the acting commissioner." So in a 6-month period, my life changed drastically.
Oh, yeah.
And then he left at the time, that Republican, Ed Mangano, and then came in Laura Curran, said, "I'll give you 4 months, and then I'm going to do my changes." 30 days later, she called me up. She says, "Do you want to be the commissioner?" I said, "Absolutely." She goes, "All right, we're going to keep you. We're going to announce it on Monday." And I got through the background clearance, and I got full confirmation from full ledge voted for me. I did 4 years with County Executive Curran, and then Bruce Blakeman came in. And again, change could be made, right? And he set me down, and he's a tough guy. And he laid what his vision was. And I said, "Okay, I'm in." And he says, "All right." So I've been with him now for the last 3.5 years.
You know, you mentioned 2 names that we've had them on our show. We had Laura Curran and we had Bruce Blakeman. They were early interviews, so we're very familiar with them.
Two separate parties, 2 separate people, 2 separate genders, but they were, one thing they both were good was supporting the PD.
Yeah.
They were very good.
Well, what we did with Bruce Blakeman, at that time he was pushing for the police reserve program that you have. He was very much in favor of it, and I told him that we had one in the New York Police Department, retirees. It was called RMP, Retirees Mobilization Program. And
I still think they have that. Don't they have it?
Well,
I believe they do.
it's dormant. No one's called me in the last 20 years.
Right, they didn't
That's
need
a
you.
good. That's a good thing. If they're
Exactly.
not
They
calling.
need us.
So
right?
can you talk about that?
I can tell you what the county executive's vision was that, look, this county executive, Bruce Blakeman, is all about preparation, all about that perception that you want to feel safe when you walk the streets of Nassau County. And his idea was that when it hits the fan, and it does, it's going to go bad, and all the resources are being pulled. Where can I go to get more able bodies that already cleared, already have a background, already had their firearms? So it wasn't about getting a firearm. And he started this program. It always gets twisted. The media loves to twist things around. But his intent is to, and always has been, to make sure that he protects the people and the residents of Nassau County, and he's done a great job at it so far.
Yeah, yeah.
Has it been working out?
We haven't had to use them. They've all went through their clearance. They went through their training. They've all been
How many members
sworn in.
do you have in
I
that
think
commission?
he's got about 15.
15?
Yeah, I'm not even sure of the number. It could be a little bit more, a little less. It's honorary sheriffs, so they are police powers when they get sworn in when the emergency happens. Right. But right now, they work as honorary sheriffs for the police department.
As I recall, there was opposition to it.
Well, you're always going to get opposition. Opposition usually comes from the opposite side, right? No matter whose side you're on, it's the opposite side. Yeah. And to his credit, like I said, he stands up to he's a committed guy. If he commits, he's in. And he doesn't change his colors because people don't like the flavor. He's going to stay with it and do what he has to do. And that's what we respect about him as a boss. He stands up for his cops 100%. I call him with some bizarre stuff. I got a problem. Here's what I got. He goes, all right, what do you need? Let's take care of this. We'll take care of this. Tell the cop I got his back. Thank you, boss. Hang up the phone. That's what you get with him.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really good. They don't have that in New York City.
Nah, well.
Haven't had that in a while.
I always say to people when they talk about the city, it's the managers sometimes, and I'm not blaming all managers, right? But it's also the fact that they're the greatest police department in the world. They have the ability to do anything in the world. And they got such a core and a foundation. No matter how bad they mess it up top, the NYPD is still going to be one of the best police departments in the world. And they're always going to do the right thing with another agency. That's the respect we have for the NYPD.
I mean, there's many, ex-NYPD guys on Nassau County now, right? What would you say, half the job maybe?
I'm probably 50%.
Yeah, besides yourself, yeah.
Besides myself, yeah.
Wow, that's a lot.
And a lot of military kids, too.
Oh, wow.
Okay. And a lot more.
Yeah. Now, is there, what do you have, about 2,500?
We are 2,600.
Okay.
We are the 10th largest police department in the country right now. And the county executive has pledged to add an additional 50 new officers to our head count this November. So we're actually going to climb the ladder again, I think, to the 9th.
So you're not having a problem recruiting at all?
Recruitment's not an issue. And, when they say, oh, it's not about money, it's not about, in Nassau County, we are the lowest starting salary for a police department in the country. I sit on the major city chiefs and I watch the numbers come by and I go, oh, there's a ranking I didn't want to have. But we start our cops at $37,000. In 10 years, they're up over making $150,000, $180,000. And, they get benefits. But I think the most important thing, Republican and Democrat, in Nassau County, for the most part, back up their cops. Right. They want quality of life. Right. They want to keep their value of their homes. They want to make sure that their kids go to school safe. And the men and women in the Nassau County Police Department step up and do the job big. Last night, I told you earlier, when I seen that many people down at they call it the beach on the Mass on the beach, down in Long Beach, there's 2,000 people there. Yeah. And there's the Long Beach Police Department, there's the Nassau County PD mounted, there's the aviation going overhead. We got to stay ahead of the curve because, as we always say, we got to be right every single time. Bad guy's only got to be right once, and he's going to do some damage to us.
True. Very true. Yeah.
Cap? The mask enforcement. You want to talk about that?
Okay, so the mask. Let's speak about the mask law. How's that going?
Well, the mask law, once again, was for the right intent, right? You got these kids, these anarchists that go to these colleges. And look, not every college kid is wrong that is out there protesting. Some of them really believe in the message that they want to try to get across. And they're not causing violence. But then you get these anarchists and these paid people that stand in the background and they throw the bricks and they throw the bottles and they push the crowd forward. And next thing you know, we do sometimes end up locking up little Johnny, who was there, in his freshman year at Harvard, and like, oh, crap, what did I do here? And the mask law will say, hey, you can't hide behind a mask. You can't turn around and disguise yourself from law enforcement. We had a mask law in Nassau County for 50 years. And then when COVID came, we had to it got relaxed and we took it away for obvious reasons. Well, now it's spinning back the other way. We don't need it, and we can't have these people hiding. So the county executive and the legislative body put forward a mask law, and basically it's for that criminal element. You're going to hide behind a mask, we're going to expose you. If it ain't for a religious or a medical reason, and we ask you to take it off, you don't, you will be arrested. And the district attorney has promised to prosecute those cases. So far, we've hit it several times, but every time it's been is with in addition to a crime. You do a robbery with a mask, well, there's an additional charge we just hit you with. You do a larceny with a mask, additional charge. You show up at a protest and cause some criminal mischief, and you're wearing a mask, there's an additional charge. So it's worked out so far well. Opposition, sure, there's always opposition.
Yeah. Now, how's Nassau County Police working with ICE?
So we were the first to partner up with them with the 287G program, where we will house those that ICE has arrested in our county jail. We have 50 beds. It's about a 24 to 48 hour layover until they come and take them and start the deportation process. That's ICE, our storage for them. As far as the criminal side of it, we've cross-designated 15 detectives right now. It's 12 detectives, 3 sergeants that we've cross-designated. And here's the reason behind it. When I explained to the county executive, I said, we're locking up people from the South American Theft Group. These guys are coming from the south of the border. They know what they're doing. They go right to Nassau County. They go to break into a high-end, multi-million-dollar home. They'll walk away with millions of dollars of assets, and they'll go to their drop-off place, and it turns out it was up by College Point. They'd load up their house there, and then they go back and do it again. And they were told, if you get caught, say nothing, because they're going to let you out. It's a non-violent felony crime, so it doesn't matter on the value of what you steal, but it's what the act was, and that crime was because it's a non-violent felony, bail reform, no bail. So we let this non-resident who is here in the country, whether on a visa, legally or illegally, we let them out of jail. So if they walked out and they were here as an illegal alien, and we bag them, we lock them up, they go over to the court. The court is mandated to release them. Under Andrew Cuomo, he put out this restrictive law that we are not allowed to touch them for 24 hours after they get released from court. So we stand out in front of the court. We watch the same guy walk out and walk by us, giving us the finger, and off they go. And next thing you know, this guy's back. He's in the wind, and he's back into South America. They tell him, once you've been tagged, come home, right? And then we've had them on international wires where they've said it, stay out of Nassau County, because we were locking them up. But then all of a sudden, when the bail change, gets go to Nassau County. They got bail reform. You're going to walk out the door.
Wow.
It's crazy.
Crazy, right?
And that was the intent of why we cross-designated, because now my guys can hold them, turn them right over to ICE. If they're going to get released, they're not going to stay around.
Right.
So let's turn them over to ICE and get them deported.
Perfect.
So your people are actually sort of deputized.
They are absolutely deputized. They are cross-designated into the ICE as ICE agents. But we don't do roundups. We don't do morning raids. We're not doing that. That's not our purpose. We will always support every single federal, state, and local partner that comes to our county. I don't care what the rules and people screaming and yelling, the public perception is. The idea that a federal agency comes to our county and needs assistance, they will get it with Nassau County Police Department. Always.
Well, that's great. New York City should take your example and behave like that.
And again, it's not the cops.
I know, it's political. It's the policy of the mayor. The tactical village that you've created, you know, I don't know if you're aware of it, but there's one in Georgia, in Atlanta.
Yep.
And we had the attorney interviewed here. She represented a cop that was injured due to a riot that took place in opposition to this tactical village. There was a lot of opposition to creating it. And I'm just wondering if you have any problem with yours yet.
So I know you had in our foundation director, Ali Nagolian. She does an outstanding job raising money for us. Our tactical village was built on private money donations, asset forfeiture, and a capital project. So all three participated, but we didn't get started without our police foundation. So we built this village. It is downtown Nassau County, like I explained earlier. It is 100% downtown America. All the assets are in there, roads, traffic lights, everything. I visited Atlanta, and Atlanta's got a great agency, great department. But it's not like that. It's all spread out. They're all over the place, and I don't mean that in a bad way, but they had a lot of extra square footage to do that. They're in the farm country out there. We're different. We built it in a 2.5 acre area. You know, I've been to Fletsy. I've been to Quantico. And I see them, but then this is a contained environment. There's nobody coming in that's not being in the training mold. Everybody's simunition weapons. Everybody's got all the the proper gear when they're in there, and you go about the village. If it's like just like anywhere else in Nassau County, if you hear another call in, you can jump on it, or you could stay at the call you're at, depending on what the call is. But we are definitely 100% concerned, when I visited Georgia last year, is that people will try to destroy that. If you want, any businessman in the world will tell you, if I create a product that I can't get rid of, you can't get rid of policing. They can say whatever they want. You can't get rid of it, right? We'll have anarchy. If you want a good police department, you got to invest in a good police department. If you want a good product, you got to invest in that product. If you take the funding away from law enforcement, the first thing that's going to be cut is the services to the people, the same people that need you. And now you're going to say, hey, we're going to pull back. We're going to take some of the resources. We're going to give these social programs. Okay, I'm not totally against what when you say you're going to bring in other resources. And sometimes I think people, when they say defund the police, don't mean defund. They mean say, hey, listen, they got all this money. Give me some money. Okay, you can get money, but don't take it from here. You got to invest if you want a good product. We're investing in Nassau County, a brand new police academy. We just increased our headcount for the third time in a row since County Executive Blakeman's been there. And we're building a training village thanks to our foundation and our county executive. And it's done. It's up, and we opened up last week with Pam Bondi came to town. She cut the ribbon. The President of the United States has already spoken about our training village, and the doorbell's been ringing crazy now. People want to come and train at the village, and we welcome our partners.
I was going to ask you that. Outside other agencies will participate?
Yeah, we try to get a little vig from them once in a while. If we can get a little money, it doesn't hurt. So federal partners have money. Some of our states don't, so we work with them. We're absolutely working with them.
That sounds good. Cap?
Why is the Nassau County considered the safest in the country?
Well, so
it's a loaded question.
Yeah, it's loaded, but it's a good one, right? Because we like to brag.
Good question.
So
good answer.
we have been designated by World News and Reporting 3 out of the last 5 years the safest county in America. In about 4 weeks from today, they will announce it again. I'm pretty sure I'm going to get it because after winning it last year, we lowered crime another 8%. Right now, I'm down another 15% in major crimes. Right? It's our attention to details. It's that perception, and it's a no crap attitude. We're not going to tolerate the kid coming over on these mopeds and stuff doing robberies. You come over on a moped and you're illegal and you're undocumented, you're unlicensed, you're no helmet, you got a kid on there. We're not only going to drop tickets on you, we're taking the bike. I got 80 and 90 of these mopeds now that we're destroying once we figure out the battery problem, but we're getting rid of them all because we just have a zero tolerance for that. You come into our communities, you cause problems, zero tolerance. During the George Floyd, we had over 360 protests. Sometimes 6,000 people came to Nassau County. Here's what we didn't have. We had not one act of violence and not one piece of criminal mischief in all of those protests. And the reason why, I told my cops, and I walked with every one of my cops, I said, engage with the people, talk to them, and let's talk about de-escalation, bringing them down, have a conversation. They have a right to voice their opinion. But you know what? You don't have a right to cause damage, and you don't have a right to cause violence. And if you did, we'd take it. You sit down the street, we locked you up. Simple as that.
Well, how does Suffolk County compare? Your neighbor. So
Suffolk, and I've had 7 police commissioners out there since I've been here in Nassau County. And, Rodney Harrison, great man. I worked with Rodney, superb. Kevin Catalina's out there now, great man. Rob Waring came through the ranks in there, was also chief of department, and then was acting for a while, great man. Different politics at the time and different mentality or mindset of that politician makes the difference, right? And again, like I said, Laura Corrin was very good to me. Bruce Blakeman has been great to me, great to his cops. In fact, he drives me like a mule. Yeah, so it's go, go, go. It's 6 o'clock in the morning. He's banging my phone. You got to get this, blah, blah, blah. And then I'll say, hey, boss, you need something? What do you need? Just tell me what you need. We'll get it done. And I get the same respect from the legislators, too, because when they call me and they need something, they get it. We're big on service-oriented police department. Anything from the funeral that's going to happen, to the barking dog call, to the murder, to the robbery, to the rape. Service, service, service. That's the number one reason we do so well. So our crime is really, really low. If I get it in August, I'll come back. We'll bring a bottle of champagne and drop the mic and walk out.
Sounds good. Commissioner, so Gilgo Beach, I know it's Suffolk County, right? Mm-hmm. You guys play a part in that at all?
Yeah, big part. So in the very beginning of that case, obviously we had we had one body on our side. We also, as you might have heard, Peaches and Baby Doe. Peaches and Baby Doe were Peaches was recovered in Nassau County, way in Nassau County, and Baby Doe was recovered by one of the bodies out there in Suffolk. We were reached out to by, at the time, Patty Patillo and Phil. Actually, no, Phil's last name is my neighbor. Phil, I'll say for now, and it'll come back to me. But we were reached out to and said, hey, can you do us some workups in a thing that they call the box? So when everybody talks about the box in that story, when they talk about it, in the box there was several hundred homes that they wanted to know from the beginning of construction, permits, cars, people, registrations, everything, mailboxes, post box office, anything on every piece of residence to the current day. So they asked us to do it. Our Intel Center at the time had 40 people in it, and I dedicated 4 people just to do this. And we stayed off the radar. We are there to assist our partners. Phil Frendo is his name. Sorry, Phil. So we were there to assist our partners, and we did it. In one of those boxes was the picture that you see of the car parked in front of the house, the little truck. We don't know what we're looking for. And I don't think Suffolk actually knew at that time what they were looking for. But we provided boxes and boxes of files that we gave to them. And then when they went back and they redid it, that's when they recognized the photo, the car. Now they had additional information and they started to put together. So that was our workup. We did all the workups for them because Rex lived in Massapequa. He lived inside the box. And we did his file and every other file that was done in that area. So when it came to it at the end of the day, and they did a great job figuring it out, along with the state police, District Attorney Ray Tierney, and of course Rodney Harrison. They at the press conference they called me. They go, "Oh, now we're going to bring up Nazca," and I just from the crowd they said, "No, I'm good. I'm good. You guys did it. You did it, man." And it was just a proud moment to be part of something that they did such a great job putting it together. And a lot of credit's got to go to Suffolk County for what they did out there, and the state police.
Yeah, no, it was great. Good case. Good job. And I remember when Ronnie went out there, I was talking to him one night, and I said, you got to just have some retired detectives from NYPD come out there and help you out. He goes, yeah, I'd love to do that. No offense to any detectives out there. Just a joke, joking around because he was NYPD. He was chief of detectives in New York.
And a really good guy. My wife and I had dinner with him and his wife, and just good people. And 3 daughters that exceptional athletes, and 2 are on the job.
Right, exactly. Yes. Yeah, good man. So getting back to homicide. So say a town like Long Beach or Freeport, right? They have their own police department, or Garden City. If there's a homicide, of course, I'm sure they have detectives to handle the homicide, but will you guys jump in it at any point?
No, we actually take it.
Oh, you take the homicide.
So any major crime is handled by Nassau County. And some of the villages are getting better at not that they're getting better. They were always good, but they didn't have the capabilities. They don't have a crime scene, right? Mm-hmm. It's just not cost effective to have that in the city of Long Beach, right? So they use Nassau County. They didn't have a robbery squad, a homicide squad. Right. It's just not cost effective. Matter of fact, Long Beach has great detectives up in their squad. They'll handle certain crimes, but when it gets to the bigger crimes, they call in homicide. We work together. So we partner up with the Long Beach detective, and they work side by side.
So say Long Beach, the detectives there, they would catch the case, you guys would assist them, or it's your case?
The minute homicide happens, we'll get called from a crime scene perspective. Their cops will respond. Their detectives will respond. They'll make the notification. We come right out, and we start it right together, working together with them.
Okay. Right. And there's a kid missing, too, in Long Beach right now, right?
So he went in the water. We have put a lot of resources out there looking for him. It's horrible for the family what they're going through, but I think we all understand in policing sometimes that body will pop and sometimes it won't pop for a year.
Yeah,
It could be
that's
stuck
tragic.
under a jetty, or it could be washed all the way into Maine somewhere.
Yeah, that's a sad one. Not
Yeah,
good.
it's hard.
Well, Pat, I have to say, this is a great interview. And we're very proud that you came from the New York City Police Department, which is a great training ground, even though you did only 2.5 years.
2.5 years was a hell of a 2.5
and
years.
it's like 20 years in
45 and 86.
Especially in Brooklyn, right? 2.5 years.
That's right.
That was
So
a heavy
we hope you'll come back when you get your next Safest County Award.
You listen, I'll be back, and listen. I want to thank you for giving the opportunity to talk about it, because I love talking about our cops, and I say that with a lot of pride. It's our cops, and we got to stand up for the men and women in law enforcement. And I know here in WABC Radio they do that every day in and day out, and I'm thankful for it, and that's why I listen.
Oh yeah.
They have a law enforcement day here every year. I'm sure you've been there
I've been
before.
to it.
Right,
yes.
right. Yeah,
yep.
it's a
I've been
good-
on the round table on this stage.
At the,
right
That's
after.
right.
at the
That's
conclusion of this program, we're going to meet with the owner of the station, which will be in about 10 minutes.
Excellent.
And who's that, Cap?
That's John Katzimatidis.
Of course.
And his
You have to
wife,
say his
Margot.
name. Absolutely. Commissioner, I know you're very busy, and I thank you for giving us some time today.
My pleasure.
I'm sure we could sit here and continue talking across the street as well, but we can just go on and on and on, and it's all great stuff, At this time, I'd like to thank Commissioner from Nassau County Police Department, Patrick Ryder, for being here today with us. And if you like what you hear, you can subscribe to Cop Talk. You could also follow us on X at Cop Talk WABC. That's at Cop Talk WABC. Until next time, Cap, you want to say nothing before I wrap it up?
I'm going to remind YouTube viewers that this session has been recorded on YouTube, so you can see the commissioner in his suit without a tie.
No tie for me.
So-
We're working men.
I love it. It's great. By the way, maybe they may be looking for a new New York City Police Commissioner. Would you be interested in that?
Let me tell you, someone said that to me once, and I said I would always be honored to serve in that department.
It'd be Nassau's loss, but it'd be NYPD's gain for sure.
You had a
You
great
know?
one in Keyshawn Sewell. A
Yes,
great one.
yes, absolutely. She
One of
was
the best.
She was awesome, well liked, and did a great job. And then, as you say, politics.
Yep.
We all get it. But until next time, God bless you. God bless America. God bless law enforcement throughout the world, and also God bless our U.S. military. Be safe. Thank you.